Hello.
Alrighty, everybody. Hello and welcome. It's
Shit.
been 4 months since I did my last podcast, but this one is going to get real interesting here. We labeled it the Kobe Revival because I got my buddy Rip Kobe over here, and
Hello. Nice.
we're gonna talk about how we're gonna talk about the off season of the NBA, and we're also gonna talk about the NBA, our biggest NBA signing, which everybody's pretty well aware LeBron James held that out for a while. So, Rip, what do you think of the NBA signing at the current moment? With everything that's
Of
going on, the LeBron James 76ers signing, what do you think of it?
it's interesting that the only reason that the 70 he signed with the 76ers or whatever is because Jalen's there. But yeah,
Do you think it
the
was just because of Jalen there, or do you think with the factors of the way the 76ers are built as well, you got to think of Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, and yeah, Jalen Brown probably was a big significant of it. But do you really think it was just that? Because if it was that, you would have signed with the Warriors probably too, because you have Steph Curry, you have Draymond Green, you have Al Horford. You got a pretty good solid crew in Golden State as well. So, do you think it was like the way the 76ers are built culture wise as well, or do you think it was just mainly because of Jalen Brown, like you said before? Like, do you feel like do you still feel like Jalen Brown was the main thing, or you feel like there was more factors than just Jalen Brown?
maybe Joel.
Because I looked it up before we did this podcast, everything, did some research. It said that Jalen Brown and Joel Embiid recruited him. It wasn't just Jalen Brown, as the internet speculated and said, "Oh, Jalen Brown's doing this, that, this, that." It was actually Joel Embiid and Jalen Brown, and at first it was actually Joel Embiid before Jalen Brown joined in the trade.
I believe that's like one of the reasons why he joined.
Yeah, I do. I feel like the 76ers now with LeBron James, you got a pretty good solid starting five. It's the bench that I'm worried about because Joel Embiid has been constantly been getting hurt. Jalen Brown, we'll see how he reacts in Philadelphia along with LeBron James, but we'll see. But there's definitely a good starting core, but not a good depth in it. And 76ers were so worried about LeBron James that the depth chart of the depth of the bench is not there, which we still have plenty of free agency left. I think we have quite a few days left of the free agency still. So of course we're going to keep everybody updated on that, right? Um, but as far as that signing goes, everything there, we're doing pretty good about that.
Yeah.
But let's move on to the next part here, where we're going to break down the free agency team by team, the 30 teams, what we're seeing and what we're thinking at the current moment. So, for the person that just joined, we're breaking down with the free agency of the NBA, and we just got done
14.
speaking about the LeBron James complete signing with the 76ers and how we believe that Jalen Brown influenced it along with Joel Embiid. So Ripco, let's talk about the Atlanta Hawks. Rip, we have two re-signings, four additions, and one departure for the Atlanta Hawks, a team that not most people speak about. First we got Jock Lundell agreeing to a 1 year deal, along with CJ McCollum agreeing to a 1 year deal as well. With the re-signings, do you think the Atlanta Hawks are thinking about their future at the current moment, or do you think they're trying to find a way to solve their problems and not really finding the solution in these re-signings at the current moment.
Probably just a rebuilding type of thing. Maybe
All right. Um,
it's like
we got some pretty good additions though. Um, Chat, the comments are enabled if you have any questions about the free agency. We'll see what we can answer for you. And we're going to go to the additions of the Atlanta Hawks. They got Devin Carter via trade with the Kings, which is a pretty decent bench set. And then you got Ryan Nemhard as well, who's traded with the via trade with the Mavericks, who's also a good bench. But we're talking about the two I want to talk about actually are who the Atlanta Hawks got off of the Thunders, the bench set of the 2025 championship team, and that's Louis Dort and Aaron Wiggins. They both came via trade with the Thunders guys. Rip, could you give some insight on what you're thinking about that? Because I'm really interested to see what you're thinking about that specifically. Because why would the Thunders want to get rid of part of their 2025 championship team that actually helped them out?
I have no idea.
He has no
Unless
idea.
they
He had no idea. Well,
wisdom.
nice to meet you, Squid Syrup. I'm glad you are here, and we'll talk about that later. I'll figure that out. Hello, Hot Wheels. Nice to meet you. Um, so I'm gonna give you guys my insight on the Atlanta Hawks picking up Dort and Wiggins as well. The best thing about them choosing those, I know you are, Squid. Best part about us completely getting that set of that point of where we're thinking, why would the Thunders want to get rid of parts of their 2025 team? I do have Xbox app Hot Wheels. I do. Is that they successfully had a good solid bench, which is when you're looking at a team, you don't really have a good successful bench, Rip. And I know you know that for a fact. Being a Lakers fan, you guys had a good starting, but you had a few good bench people. And being a Pistons fan, I also see that as well. I am not on Discord, Squid, unfortunately. And
Yeah,
so Rip, how that can be hard to manage a solid bench and solid stars, yet somehow the Thunders did it with this young crew, and now they're getting rid of some of that. What do you think in that case for them to do this, give the Hawks advantage with the bench that's now going to be their starters, and only losing one player to a trade, which is Zachary Rasher? What do you think is the thought process behind Atlanta right now as we head into the next season with the free agency continuing? I guess he is a wall for a second. Well, ultimately, the re-signing, the additions, the departures, guys, I believe Atlanta Hawk. I bought them on Amazon. I believe that Atlanta Hawks are going to be a bust team. Yes, I do. Is a bust team instead of a positive playoff team or anything to do with positivity. So I think Atlanta Hawks, we're going negative again this year. They're possibly going to break out even with adding some people from the 2025 team of the Thunder's championship team. But now we're going to move on to the Boston Celtics, Rip here. Um,
Boston.
They added Ron Harper Jr. in a re-sign, agrees to a 3-year deal. Miles Queta agrees to a 4-year deal. Jordan Walsh agrees to a 3-year extension. So pretty solid re-signings there. And then I am going to give a shout out to Hot Wheels here, who is currently live in Ohio, I believe, on Discord or Twitch. Check him out as well.
Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels.
Hot Wheels 255 is the YouTube name that they
Hot
have on their
Wheels.
YouTube channel. Hot Wheels 255. How about you put in? And they say they're a female. Rip.
They
Hot
said
Wheels.
they're female.
Yes, sir. How about you put your stream? Hot Wheels. How about you put your Twitch account and your Discord account on here, so I can read it off to my buddy here, so he can watch you as well while we're doing this as well. Good additions though for the Celtics that I believe that will propel them to possible championship contenders is they added Mike Conley, who agreed to a 1-year deal, y'all. And Mike Conley has never got a tag, ever. No flagrant, no nothing. The only player to do that. All right. Okay, Squid. I'm very honored of that. You only do YouTube live stream. Well, maybe Hot Wheels, you and me can do a live stream together sometime.
Hot Wheels.
Yep, Hot Wheels 255, capital H. She says she only does YouTube live stream.
Hot Wheels.
So, and then you get Paul George via trade with 76ers. Of course, that was that Jaylen Brown trade, guys, with Paul George, Jaylen Brown plus multiple picks. That trade is very interesting, to be honest, on how that works. But we'll see how that goes moving on of how that trade works right now. Paul George is more of a bust when it comes to the Celtics. Yeah, he's going to fit perfectly with the group. That's good. I'm glad you do that. It's very great to help people out in the community. That's very something I do. I'll let you guys know all my socials as well after the show, after the live stream. I'll make sure you guys get my socials. But Paul George, literally, he's getting to the point where he's solid, but I feel like he'll fit the Celtics. But I'm more worried about the injury proneness of that rip, like the way he's been getting injured constantly. So as far as Celtics go with Paul George, do you think they'll keep him, or do you think they'll try to try
Gotta
to
try one.
try to
You
get
make it.
try to get rid of him? It's the best way to say it. With Paul George, are they going to keep him and help them develop the young stars the Celtics have, or you think he's because I can imagine they'll put Tatum at the power forward position and him at small forward, but with constant injuries, where do you see that going with Paul George and the Celtics?
Paul George has a healthy season, and we'll see what happens. But you gotta give it a try.
Might as well. You might as well. You're the Celtics. You know you're expected to get into a championship every year.
Or try to and get to the finals.
That's good. I'm very glad that you give out to your community. That's very important to me. Is um, for people to give out to the community. So that is something I'm very proud of everybody about to do that because not many people do that anymore. Mitchell Robinson also agreed to a 3-year deal as an addition to the Celtics. Of course, the departures was Jaylen Brown with that Magic trade, and then Nick Lockley departed the free agency, put in the free agency to the Magics, which is also another thing. I am acknowledging you, Squid. I understand I'm your idol as well. Yes, Rip.
I gotta go to the bathroom. Can we put it on hold?
I'm sorry, bud, but everybody heard that. That was on the live stream. But
Ah,
I can keep them entertained for a second.
keep them entertained.
You know I will. All right. While he's going to the bathroom, we'll do a quick recap for all the people that just joined. We're talking about the NBA free agency at the current moment. Um, no, we are not doing a bathroom stream, bro. No, heck no, not on that. No. We ain't trying to get shut down here. He's just going to the bathroom real quick. He'll be back. I have autism too. I'm not 25, but I do have autism as well. Um, Squid. As far as the question about me taking a roommates, I am. You will be on YouTube live stream tomorrow. Depending on what time tomorrow, I'll come and check it in. Check in. Depending on what time I work at night. So, Squid, as far as the roommates go, but I'm not accepting any roommates. I would love to help you try to find you a home and everything like that, but I'm not accepting roommates at the current moment. I have a puppy that I have, and I'm trying to take care of that right now and everything like that. Otherwise, I would totally take you in, bro. Talk about it. But well, I know it's just I gotta get some stuff figured out in my personal life too. I've been having a lot of health issues, so I gotta try to get those fixed before I try to have anybody else come into the house. I'm sorry about that, but I'm just trying to get my health issues under control because if not, I won't be here very long, unfortunately. Hot Wheels, though, you will be on at 4 tomorrow, 4 Eastern, correct? Because there you live in Ohio, I'm assuming that's correct. That's correct. So I'll check in on you, Hot Wheels. I'll check your channel when I get out of this. I'll check on your channel. You love Mellow Yellow. So I will definitely check this out.
I am definitely back. Indefinitely.
You are definitely back from the bathroom. You were in Michigan yesterday. What were you doing in Michigan yesterday? But anyway, as we continue that as well, I will keep talking to you, Hot Wheel, as well. We are now on to the Brooklyn Nets, Rip, where you and me talked about this before. Rips, the Nets have been silently trying to contend y'all in the NBA. Um, they all been trying to here, and we've all been going here and there as well. Um, Josh Minott agrees to a 2-year deal. Deron Sharp agrees to a 2-year deal as well for re-signing. They added Keon Elise to a 2-year deal. But the biggest ones. All right. I don't know, but I've been growing my hair out. I'm trying to get back to my ponytail that I had, so I'm just letting my hair grow out. Um, Julius Randle joined the Brooklyn Nets via 14 trade with Timberwolves. I'm not gonna lie, that did put me as a surprise. Is that I thought Julius Randle was gonna rip the mood tail. Rip the mood
Uh,
tail. I don't know who Voodoo Monster 97 is, but that's actually a funny one, Rip. I'm not gonna lie.
what?
Uh, this guy Larry said rip the mood tail. He was doing a play on because I said I was gonna grow out for my
Yeah.
ponytail again.
Rip the mood tail.
Yeah, Squid. You know what? We can hang out one day. I'll tell you that we can hang out one day, dude. Um, to make it well aware, if you guys are a card collector when it comes to sport cards, I got some sports cards that I do have on hand currently at the moment that I'm willing to sell. We'll figure all that out too, you know. But Julius Randle joined the Brooklyn Nets off a 4-team trade. Morris Wagner agrees to a 2-year deal. So they got a good solid power for a good solid center added. So that's
Now I
good.
can.
That's a pretty good set to add that front court.
So easy.
But do you I guess for you, Rip,
Uh-oh. How did she get in here?
I guess where what we ask about you, Rip, is that where do you see this Brooklyn Nets coming to now? Because they lost Nick Claxton, they lost Ari Williams, but they're adding two powerful front court men that are you got one that's pretty old, but you also got hello G2 gamer. Nice to meet you. Where's Wagner? Like so. See, this is what I like. Hot Wheels, you're literally asking people and taking care of them, man. That's wonderful, man. You are so wonderful, Hot Wheels. You are such a wonderful person, man. We are so blessed to have you do this stuff. Alrighty, G2 gamer. I don't know who you are, but I am very concerned on what I just saw. So Rip, what do you think is going for the Brooklyn Nets heads right now as far as adding the power forward Julius Randle and Morris Wagner at center?
Room. The room is more heavier. That means it's gonna hold them up.
Yeah.
No, that ain't work either.
So what about the guard situation? Because I feel like you can't have a strong front court, but you're also going to need a strong back court. And right now, we both know the Nets don't have a strong back court. So do you feel like that unbalancedness of the team would be what
A
could cause a
crowbar.
problem?
Then they just break through the crowbar because it's wood.
I don't know on that one. But what like I said, the unevenness of the team with having a strong front court and a weak back court, do you feel like thank you, gamer. Do you feel like, do you feel like that could be an issue with unbalanced evenness?
Last year.
Like you said, it's going to put a heavy set in the team, of course, because of a heavy front court. But like you, like what is the thought process behind the Brooklyn Nets on this? Because I totally don't understand how you go for a power set in the front court, yet you don't have the back court to show it. Hot Wheels, all right. My fit is just some red sports shorts and a Tyler Hero Miami jersey here, y'all. So which also we do have an update on Tyler Hero that we're gonna get to as well. That's gonna be an interesting update to give y'all. But we were talking about the unevenness of the team. I really hope. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm not doing full 360. We are not trying to get banned here, y'all. And so that's going to be my worry about. Hey, yo, I don't know who you are, G2 gamer, but please do not call me that. Anyway, so we were talking about the uneven balance of the Brooklyn Nets, of course, Rip. So that's going to be my biggest worry of that team. We are going to move to the Charlotte Hornets, which me and Rip both believe because we talked about this before. Definitely going downhill. You got Kobe White, who agreed to a 3-year deal, which is good. You got Grayson Allen, Jordan Finney-Smith, Royce O'Neal, and Naz Reid all joining the Charlotte Hornets, which only puts them into an area of more constructive veteran rebuild here, which is not really what you're looking for. They lost their star LaMelo. They lost Miles Bridges, Josh Green. What is your thoughts on the Hornets, Rip? Like, what do you think is their main goal at the end of the day now?
Think it just all fit all went to crap. Nothing really much to say about the Hornets.
Yeah, you're not really a team to know what's going on here.
Lost everything, so there really isn't much to say about the Hornets anymore.
Yeah. Y'all are some crazy comments here. First of all, I'm not going to recommend a brand of underwear. Two, I'm not doing an armpit hair reveal. That is weird.
Someone asked that for real?
Yeah.
Oh,
Quit,
gee.
quit calling me daddy. I don't know who you are. Just quit doing that, please. Just quit. Anyway, for the Chicago Bulls, we have the re-signing of Zach Collins, addition of Nick Claxton and Norman Powell, and they lost Colin Sexton, Afreen Simmons, and Mahadou Dieye. So Chicago Bulls, of course, are a rebuilding team. Pretty solid still, though. Not gonna lie. So what Chicago Bulls definitely in rebuild mode, but also contending at the same time. So they're trying to knock out two birds with one stone. And I feel like they're actually doing a pretty good job at it, Rip, to be honest. Not much movement in the off season, but preparing for the future while also getting a few stars to contend right now.
Of course I am. I'm a total badass.
uh, well, who's my favorite basketball player? Ooh, Rip, you tell him who's your favorite basketball player first. I actually know who his favorite basketball player is, but why don't you
Could
share
you
why don't you share out who's your favorite basketball player,
LeBron James?
Rip? Booty Muncher
No.
97 said LeBron. The fact that he knew that too. And my favorite player, y'all, we gonna get in controversial here if we start doing a GOAT debate, is Michael Jordan. Okay? I'm not a Bulls fan. I hate the Bulls with a passion. But Michael Jordan did a pretty good solid season and stuff. So I'm willing to do that. Definitely MJ there. Definitely. So go Bulls. Squid loves the Bulls. All right, that's good to know. Squid loves the Bulls. All right. So Chicago Bulls, they're in rebuild, contending mode. They're doing it right too. I think they're having a good future ahead of them. Next team, the team that also was fighting for LeBron James in this big, huge free agency. war that was going on with him. Is the Cleveland Cavaliers re-sign Thomas Bryant to a 1-year deal, and if you're a Cleveland fan, Donovan Mitchell agrees to a 4-year deal.
Yep.
I'm not doing a few review on Hot Tub. And all right, and Hot Wheels. I'll see you soon again. Probably check you up on your stream tomorrow. Definitely check you up on that. So Donovan Mitchell agrees to a 4-year deal extension. No, Squid. No. Mario Hazonia agrees to a 1-year deal, which would be good for him. Get back into the route of the NBA after going off overseas to Real Madrid and all that. I currently do not drive a car at the current moment, gamer. And talk to you later, Hot Wheels. Thank you for joining the live stream. This will be available as well on my channel if you ever want to continue watching it afterwards of when you leave.
Erskies.
Keon Elise, Larry Nance Jr., and D Wade all are departures for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Larry Nance Jr., the biggest departure out of what I feel. I'm not doing a hot tub stream. So Cleveland Cavaliers currently contending. We know this already. They're contending. No doubt they're contending, right? So
yeah,
they're going for it too. They're contending strong. I'm not gonna lie, because now they have a good guard that they have backup for Donovan Mitchell. So if Donovan Mitchell needs a break, they have Mario Hazonia to do that as well.
and
Hot
they'll be
Wheels,
doing
what girl would
working
that
more
possibly be?
so it'll be a little bit better.
Because I'm currently single. I'm not dating no one at the current moment, so I'm confused on what Hot Wheels means. Um, hashtag
I
CJ
was
OnlyFans. I am not doing OnlyFans. I'm definitely not doing that. Hell no, not doing that. When will you do a Colin Scott? I'm not doing that. I can't pronounce it, and I'm not doing it. I know what it is. I'm not doing it. So Cleveland
okay.
Cavaliers, Cologne Scuffy stream. I'm not doing that. So Cleveland Cavaliers definitely contending. Definitely possible making a run if LeBron James does not shape the Sixers the way everybody thinks he will. So definitely looking at Cleveland going into the NBA Finals, or definitely going in Eastern Conference Finals trying to fight New York. So let's see how that goes.
One or the two.
One of the two. Exactly. One of the two will happen. Dallas Mavericks, I'm going to say, is one of the most upsetting teams this offseason. Because they signed Milasa Sassi, agrees to a 2-year deal. Santi Aladama joins via trade with Grizzlies. Tarek Yurakovich agrees to a 2-year deal. Zachary Rashard joins via trade with Mavericks. And Marcus Sasser joins via trade with the Pistons. I'm not doing a basketball stream. And I'm don't know how to take you look drawable. I don't know how to take that. But anyway, so it looks like the Dallas Mavericks are now in rebuild mode because that's all bench players besides for Marcus Sasser. He's more of a starter, but the rest of them are bench players, which makes sense that they're trying to rebuild because they lost Marvin Bagley III, AJ Johnson, Chris Middleton, and Ryan Nimhard. So that's all stuff that would be something that would be definitely a concern for Dallas Mavericks, is trying to find a way to rebuild and get a star over there when they have none, because Kyrie Irving is questionable at the current moment. Klay Thompson is questionable at the current moment. So those two players being questionable in Dallas puts a lot of pressure, honestly, on these young stars in Dallas that are backup. Only tip I have for a shower is stay clean. That's all I got for you. Just stay clean. Make sure you have clean clothes, clean shampoo, all that jazz. Anyway,
There's a
so
lot of water.
Dallas Mavericks definitely in rebuild mode.
Yep.
Definitely going bench style, which is bringing me off a little bit weird why they're trying to hit their bench before. I am not doing a shower tutorial. I don't know who Chris Hansen collab is, and I'm probably not going to do that. Um, I'll do a
Chris.
Q&A stream later this week or possibly next week, but we're gonna try to get going still with what we're talking about NBA wise. So,
Yeah.
Rip, we're doing this to the point where the Dallas Mavericks are rebuilding, but they're rebuilding in a bench game. Like it seems like they're good with their starters. They're more focusing towards the rebuild of the bench. How do you think that's going to affect them?
They're mostly mostly benching like half, whatever.
Yeah, they're building a benching roster. They're not building a starter roster. Like they had their 5 starters they want, and then beyond that, they're just benching the rest. They having bench players come in like Cesar. I think they're going to put him in the starting lineup, and I know they're putting Santiago Lava to the bench, Tarek Birakovic to the bench, Zachary Richard to the bench. I know they're putting CC to the bench because they lost.
Maybe.
They're going to put Cesar in as starter because they lost Chris Middleton. But you got Marvin Bagley third, AJ Johnson, and Ryan Nimhard, who were all bench. So they're building a bench game more than a starter game. So it looks like they were just trying to replenish what they had.
Yeah.
So it looks like a pretty decent thing. I still feel like they're in rebuild mode and trying to change their bench up. Like I said, guys, we have a few more days left of the free agency, including today as well. So we're going to move on to 2024 defending champs, Denver Nuggets. Wait, no, 2023 defending champs, Denver Nuggets. Tyson
Yeah.
Jones agreed to a 1-year deal. Marvin Bagley agrees to a 1-year deal. Departures, though, they lost Tim Hardaway and Spencer Jones. Not doing a hair cream tutorial. So,
Hair cream.
I don't even use hair cream, to be honest. But Tim Hardaway Jr. departs in free agency, so that's good for him. So they replaced him with Marvin Bagley III. The thing about this, Rip, though, with the Denver Nuggets, if Marvin Bagley III does not perform, you can literally call the whole entire Denver Nuggets offseason a bust. Because they so when Marvin Bagley is there, if he doesn't perform, you can guarantee that the Denver Nuggets offseason was a bust. And seeing that is kind of sad if it is a bust because they put so much into stuff and everything. So it would be sad to see that. So let's be here to the point with the Denver Nuggets with Marvin Bagley III, hopefully performing to show that he's stepping up, because Marvin Bagley III came from the University of Michigan. He played well there and everything. But Denver Nuggets, West Coast, no longer LeBron James and the West Coast guys. So the West Coast is going to be up for grabs like crazy now. Now that LeBron James is not with the Lakers.
West Coast.
So do you think the Denver Nuggets are going to make it in the playoffs, Rip?
Yeah.
All right, so
Gonna be shaking him up.
Very concerned for a gamer out of what I just saw comment wise.
What did he say?
CJ Moody, keep talking. I'm almost finished.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
What do you think he's doing?
I don't want to think about that, Rip. I really don't.
I mean,
So I'm not thinking about that at all.
doing
Not going to.
Dang.
But
that'd be weird.
Denver Nuggets, I feel like they're going round two and then they're going to get an exit, to be honest. I feel like that's where we're going to get with the Nuggets. My homeboys, hometown, Motor City, Detroit Pistons, signed Javante Green to a 1 year deal. Re-signing him, I mean. Re-signing Kevin Herter to a 3 year deal. Not doing apartment territory tutorial. Additions, though, out of all these additions, my favorite addition is John Collins. I always imagine John Collins going to the Pistons. Always imagine him playing there, and nothing better than a better time now. Joins via sign and trade with Clippers to a 3 year deal, so we're going to have John Collins for 3 years. I can't wait to see what the heck is going to happen with that. Gary Harris joins via trade with Bucks. Isaiah Joel joins via trade with Thunders. Torian Prince joins via trade with Bucks. The Pistons risk all four of these trades with picks, by the way, guys. So they're risking their future to contend right now. That's their main focus. Let's contend right now because they have a young enough core that they're like, we're going to contend right now. We'll worry about the future later. Departures: Tobias Harris, Karis LeVert, Marcus Cassar, and Isaiah Stewart. Complete okay with that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm completely okay with Tobias Harris leaving, Karis LeVert, Marcus Cassar, and Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart was causing a lot of issues in the locker room, so I'm very happy to get him out of there. Pistons, if they develop the players they got the right way, I can see them heading into the quarterfinals. But I really see a first round exit at this point with the Pistons right now, just based off what their performance was last year, injuries, everything that was going on. Their additions helped, but I don't think it'll help enough. So, first round exit for the Pistons. So, as we continue that going on, what do you think of the Pistons? Do you think they're going quarters, finals? You think they're going first round, second round? Like, where is your head at with the Pistons, Rip?
We will see.
We will see. That is the biggest thing we know about the NBA is that we can't predict what's going to happen in the NBA, guys. So it's all about a we will see. We can just make predictions based off of. Not doing that. I'm not sending you a bag of my hair. Anyway.
A bag of your hair.
I don't know. I really don't. Sometimes I wonder how many of my old co-workers are on here doing this. I really do. Because I feel like some of them are my old co-workers that I used to work with. So ultimately, Pistons first round exit is my guess. Well, time will tell. We're moving on to the next team. The Golden State Warriors made no moves whatsoever in the offseason besides re-signings and departures, okay? They got a departure of Quentin Post, re-signed Charles Bassey, Al Horford, and DeAnthony Melton, and Kristaps Porzingis. Ultimately, Warriors first round exit at most, not making the playoffs at least. That's what I'm looking at on this. Am I wrong, Rip? Or you think Warriors having some other stuff going on?
They're just chilling.
Do you think they'll finish making moves in the free agency, or you think they're done for the year?
Probably done.
We'll see though. Like I said, y'all, we'll keep you updated. The free agency is not over yet, y'all. It is not over yet.
Maybe maybe a few, but they're just being mostly chill for the most part, like some teams are.
Question is, the Warriors, the way Steve Kerr has the Warriors is where they're focused on their young stars, and with Yaxel Lundenberg coming out of Michigan performing the way he is, I don't think they're worried about it. I think the actual Lummenberg is giving them enough hope where they're like, you know what? There's actually a rookie. I'm not sending you a bottle of my body odor. I'm not doing that. That is one of the weirdest questions I ever heard. Anyway, I think Yaxel Lundenberg is going to be actually the first rookie that Steve Kerr ever started. Because Steve Kerr, if you know the way he performs in Golden State, if you guys watch him, is he does not let no rookie start until they're 2 years. I'm not selling my bathwater. 2 years into the system. Once they're 2 years into the system, he'll start them. In this case, he's thinking about breaking all of that. Jeez Louise, how'd it go? There you go. Had all that. He's throwing it all out for Yaxel Lundenberg, so that puts a lot of pressure on him. I don't have a septic tank. So let's move on from the Warriors. You know, there's a lot we can talk about the Warriors. Houston Rockets. This team could probably be solid, actually, now that I think about it more, Rip. They re-signed Isaiah Crawford, Terry Eason, and just Sean Tate. They added Bogdan Bogdanovic and Marcus Smart, right? That puts a good power for point guard, shooting guard mix in there. But you got to think they also have Kevin Durant. Yeah, he's solid, not as well as he used to be. But adding Bogdanovic, Marcus Smart to the mix, hoping their rookies show up as well.
LBJ is better than Kevin Durant.
Okay, we know LeBron is better than Kevin Durant, hands down. Anyway, but thinking about the Heat, though, with the departures of Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Ogie, do you feel like with these two guards, I can shoot a half court? I have made a couple half court shots.
Me too. A couple.
A couple. You know, somebody has to be at least shooting a couple of half court shots and making a couple of them at least.
Yep.
Full court, I have not tried a full court shot. That is actually something I always wanted to try to do, was a full court shot and see how many it would take until I made one.
For a full court shot in the gym, our gym before.
Did you make it?
No, I probably had to try like 50 times before. I
want to see you do a full court, and I want to see your fat jiggle. Okay. Somebody's getting a little bit. Somebody's getting a little crazy. Make them clap. Okay. All right, we're gonna skip the comments of there. G2 Gamer's getting a little bit freaky on me. So got two new guards coming in for the Rockets. Good, solid, small forward for the Rockets, at least in that case. The Rockets also has some good, I think, a good power forward. I think center would be the hardest part starting wise. So Rockets are looking pretty solid start wise. Is that Jersey? Thank you. So that part is looking okay. Let's talk about the next team that also didn't really do much this offseason, was the Indiana Pacers. They kept their whole team going. They kept their winning 2022, 2024 team, correct? NBA champions? Rip, the Pacers.
They never won a championship.
Oh, no, they were in the Eastern Conference Finals in 2024.
Don't you remember? OKC beat the Pacers.
Oh, yeah, they did in 2025 and 2024.
They made it to the championship.
Yeah, because Tyrese Halbert got injured. I'm not revealing my underwear. No. So
Tyrese.
they still have their team from that championship team still.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a ring. I wear a ring all the time now on my finger. So they added Larry Nance Jr. and Kelly Oubre Jr. Good bench and starters. I'm not getting married to no one or engaged to anyone or I'm single. I'm single, y'all. I'm not signing the camera down. Y'all getting, I'm going to move it up now, actually. I'm not doing that. Anyway. So Larry Nance Jr. was added. Kelly Oubre Jr. was added. Departures was Kim Jones, Mike Potter. Larry, two bench players completely departed that are not as good. I am single. And so two bench players that couldn't be starters are departing from the Pacers. Yet the Pacers signed two good bench players that can be starters. Anyway, so think about it that way. They lost two bench players, but gained two bench players that could be starters.
Yeah.
That's amazing that the Pacers organization knows what they're doing with that. So that's good.
And quietly, they actually know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing, and I can't wait to see what they do and how they build their team up. Now,
It will be interesting to see.
it definitely will be interesting, especially with their season. I can't wait to see how their season goes. LA Clippers. This one is going to be a
Iron.
controversial um setup because guys, we're gonna involve you in this one about the Kawhi Leonard trade here. But they re-signed Jordan Miller, re-signed Cope Sanders, supposedly going to get Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram in exchange for Kawhi. So the departures for LA Clippers for sure is Bogdan Bogdanovic and John Collins. For sure, we know they're gone. Kawhi Leonard departs is what we're believing. The deal's on hold. The
Who
additions,
knows?
though, for sure, is Rui Chimera. So good addition. Not really what you would call a best choice, but but so let's talk about this trade. The Kawhi Leonard, Grady Dick, Brandon Ingram trade. Rip, what is going through your mind right now that they're just holding it back because they believe Kawhi Leonard did something illegal and that's why the trade hasn't came through? Because once he's out of the United States, he can live in Canada for the rest of his life, and that's what they're worried about.
This is probably something that could go on the next month, but hope it doesn't.
So if it goes in the next month, that means Grady Dick and Brandon Ingram will be playing with the Raptors. Kawhi Leonard will be playing with the Clippers. So that's going to be something that'll be great. So we'll see how that goes for the Clippers. Definitely not making it playoffs or anything. They're definitely a bust team. Now, Rep, I'm just going to tell you about what's going on with the Lakers. You're a big Lakers fan, so I want you to just talk your way through this. Austin Reeves agrees to a 4-year deal. You have Quentin Grimes added, Jaden Hardy added, Walker Kessler added, Kevin Looney added, Sandro Milosevic added, Colin Sexton added, Matisse Thybulle added, and Zaire Williams added. But you lost pretty good amount of players. You lost DeAndre and Rui Hachimura. Jackson Hayes, LeBron James, Luke Kennard, and Marcus Smart. So I'm just gonna let you talk this one out, Prue. What is going on in the minds of the Lakers as far as what you know because of how much of a fan you are, and just the overall culture of what the Lakers are thinking at the current moment?
I mean, I feel like we're cooked. We were cooked, and that was a lot of things that they made the wrong choices, and then we got some things and a lot more. And it's just a a lot to talk about.
Well, we definitely have time for it. Um, let's break down the first part here. You're losing DeAndre Ayton to a trade.
Yeah,
What went through your mind the moment you heard that? Because out of what we see, only person you got out of that was Jaden Hardy.
that didn't really bother. It didn't really bother me that much.
Okay. And then Luke Kennard, the person free agency. Were you hoping he was going to stay as the guard? Because don't get me wrong, you have a better free agency signing to help you out. You got Colin Sexton, who I believe in my mind is way better than Luke Kennard.
That's a, I mean, that's a good replacement.
And then, of course, you lose Marcus Smart as well, which the replacement for that is Quentin Grimes. But
Yeah.
you really don't need a replacement for him because you have Austin Reeves. Replacement for DeAndre Ayton though was Kevin Looney. Do you feel like that was a good replacement at the time?
Yes.
And do you think that's going to project forward? Because
I brought.
let me remind you, the Lakers only signed Kevin Looney for 1 year.
Yeah.
I am looking for a girlfriend, but I'm allowing myself to wait and see what happens. And then, of course, y'all, we're going to talk about the biggest departure coming out of the Lakers. 18 and 20 years old. That's my range. But the biggest departure coming out of the Lakers is LeBron James. The one, and no, you're not old enough. You're 14. LeBron James departs in free agency to the 76ers. So that's the biggest, not only surprise. No, I'm not doing a 14-year-old or talking or any of that. So that's what we're looking at here.
Already.
LeBron James departs the Lakers, which nobody really saw coming, to be honest. We all thought he was going to stay in LA. So nobody saw this coming to begin with. And to find out that he's headed all the way back over, not only to the East Coast, but all the way halfway across the country again, that also took us by surprise. So, like I said, Rip, we're going to let you take it away. What is going through your mind this time? With that one specific area. Rip. And he has gone AWOL again, y'all. What do you get I'll ask you guys this, and I want you to tell me in the comments. What do you guys think of the LeBron James departing the Lakers and signing to the 76ers? So we got that one entire thing. So Rip, we have all that going on. So let's see how that goes. So LeBron James, of course, the biggest departure. Rip. The rest of the teams, to break it down for y'all, because we're going to end it here. Um, the rest of the teams made a pretty good solid choice, good signings. Miami Heat added Giannis Akupo, Tim Hardaway Jr., Bobby Portis, so they're going to have a good set coming in. They lost Tyler Hero, of course, because there was a big dispute and they wanted to get rid of it. Of the big dispute and everything. But the rest of the teams made small stuff. You know, they made small choices. And reigning champs, Knicks made a small choice. The Oklahoma City Thunders made a small choice. So these teams are making small trades to help out and everything. But we will let you guys know if there is anything to worry about in free agency, anything new. So as for now, guys, though, we're gonna head off here. Me and Rip are gonna head off here. We're gonna talk about what we're doing here and what we're gonna do the next, exactly Kobe Revival episode 2 about. So I hope you all have a good night, and we'll see you next time. All right, y'all. Have a blessed day.